Okay, so welcome back. So we're gonna get into the app, app service explanation, right? So from the last video, we're explaining indexing, indexers, okay? The catalog and the what is it? The catalog and the process that does the cataloging. Okay, so now we're looking at what the Azure App Service is. Okay, so here there's an analogy here on my diagram that shows a front desk and a beautiful woman on the help desk. So this front desk is basically what the app service is going to represent. So we've talked about the backend so far. The what? The backend, what's happening behind the scenes, right? But your users are not worried about the indexing. They're not worried about the storage. They just want to search for the documents and they just want to find them, right? So you can't make them interact with the front backend. Like for example, ChatGPT, we can't ChatGPT can show you their backend so that you can search through things in the backend. Otherwise, it stops being valuable. So you want to create an application, a user interface, a front end application that the user is going to interact with. That's basically what a front desk does. You get to the front desk, you ask for what you need, you get what you need. She might go back into the back office to speak to the executives or whoever is responsible to get you what you need, and then she'll come and interact with you. That's exactly the same concept. Professional definition. Azure App Service is a fully managed platform for building, hosting, and scaling web applications in Microsoft Azure. It is what? A fully managed platform for building, hosting, scaling web applications in Microsoft Azure. That's what it is. It allows you to deploy your applications, your websites, your APIs, whatever it is, without managing the servers yourself. So you will see that as we do it. Now, in the context of Azure AI Search, the app service is going to act as the front door, like I just explained, right? While the storage account holds the data, the AI Search does the thinking, the index organizes it, but the app service is where people actually ask questions and see answers. It's like the front desk at a library. People walk up, ask for John's contract. The librarian AI Search fetches it in seconds. The desk doesn't do the searching, but it's where the magic happens to the front end user. Okay, so what are the core concepts? The web app is actually the application you deploy, like a search portal. It's a dashboard or an API. In our case, it's a dashboard, just like ChatGPT frontend, right? And the app service plan, the what? The app service plan. The what? The app service plan. This is the engine behind the web app. Determines how much power your app is going to use, how much CPU, how much RAM, memory your app gets. It's a server basically, but it's a virtualized server, and it's I'm looking for the word. I can't find the word, but it's like, think of it as, okay, it's a piece of a computer that you've been given. It doesn't have back in the day, people would deploy applications on a server that is a screen, right? You gotta have the user interface on the screen. You gotta have themes. You gotta have some applications, folders, right, on the server. You gotta have settings. You gotta have control panel. I'm talking about the Windows server, for example. You got all of these things, right, and which are not necessarily necessary for the application. So what Azure did is it removes the rest of the stuff that's not necessary, and then it just leaves a container, a small container, with the only resources that allows the application to run. What does this do? It drastically reduces the cost. Okay, cool. So that's what an app service plan is. Now deployment, what is the deploy? So deploy is to push your code or your zip package, which is what you're gonna work with in here, to the service. No manual server setup. Only you deploy once, push your code, and boom, everything working. What is to scale? To scale is now to increase or decrease resources automatically depending on user demand. This is why people migrate to the cloud, because I don't get charged for things that I'm not using. So if people are in demand, then the app service plan increases its CPU and memory to accommodate that. But if there's no traffic, or if there's not a lot of traffic, then it decreases the resources. So think of your app service like a perfectly trained receptionist. It doesn't know anything, but it knows exactly what to ask and how to deploy the answer with a smile. That's what an app service is. That's what we're going to deploy. So you have the configuration, which is where you're going to be setting up what are known as environment variables, like your storage connection string, because these things are just things that we're talking about that are separate, right? Azure AI Search, Azure Storage Account, indexer, all of these things are separate, right? So they need to be mixed together. They need to be together. The AI service needs to know where the data is stored. The app service needs to know where the engine is, which is the AI search. So the configuration is what's happening with environment variables. Again, easy peasy. You're gonna see it as we click on the things. Now, integration is connecting your both of the stuff together. Okay. What are you actually be doing with the app service? You're gonna deploy and create. You're gonna create the app service plan. That's the first thing. Buying the reception desk and deciding how fancy it should be. The next thing is you're going to deploy the web app, right? This is where you upload the actual zip package, which is, I named it student portal. So you manually run it and you install the installation, the packages you're going to install. Easy peasy, nothing complex with a click. Next thing is you're going to do your environment variables where you check the keys, the authentication parts. You're going to see this again, easy peasy, nothing complex there. You do the configuration. After you do that, you connect your AI search and storage using what? Using the environment variables. And once everything is made, is like that, click, then everything should start functioning. Right? What is functioning? It means that now people can go to the URL of your web app and actually do the searching. Cool. So that's what we're gonna end with, which is testing. So you search for real documents through the app, providing the entire pipeline works. Right? Sorry, proving that your entire pipeline works. Storage, indexer, AI search, app service, easy peasy. And the skills is after this you're going to be able to deploy an app service in the cloud. You're going to be able to set up an app service plan and the scaling behavior. You're going to be able to work with environment variables securely. Say what? Securely. Okay. You're going to be able to integrate your front-end apps with the backend services. Okay. This is the things you talk about when you are trying to upskill, trying to get a new job, whatever it is the goal. These are the skills that we are going to get after we do this stuff. And again, the job roles that's maps to, I already talked about this, and I ain't going to repeat about that, but this is the part that makes the word system visible. You could have the world's best librarian, but if people can't talk to them, you just have a very small read person sitting alone in the dark room. So in summary, Azure App Service is where users meet your system. Users which are not you. Users who pay you to do this. This is where they're going to test it. Okay, cool. I think we have explained the components that are required for this to work, and I think we should be ready to go into actually deploying the stuff, right? So these videos, these explanation videos are important if you want to further and understand and gain knowledge. Okay, so easy peasy. Let's meet in the next video.